Thank you, Doc. Good number. Bob Uecker was a Major League Baseball player. I'll find out how long his career was. He was a catcher. I don't know if he played for just one team.
A lot of teams.
I think a lot of teams, for reasons.
He moved around a lot.
He moved around quite a bit, and he is not one of baseball's immortals, but he did play in the major leagues, which in itself is something. He's also the voice of the, well, he's not the voice, he announces for them, because they have their own voice. Of the Milwaukee Brewers, and you see his face a lot recently on doing beer commercials. Would you welcome, as we fondly call him, Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker. I hope you understand by that introduction, I don't know if you heard it, I did not mean to demean your career, because just playing in the majors, of all the thousands and tens of thousands of youngsters who want to play baseball, the major leagues are the ultimate goal, right?
Well, and I was one of the unfortunate 10,000 that made it, John. I think that was the one thing that, if anything, hurt me in my career. It was making the major leagues.
In other words, you think you would have been better if you didn't? No?
I think I would have been better off maybe as a serviceman, sergeant, top sergeant.
Right. Well, I never thought
I like the
of that.
role.
You know, we've never really talked about your childhood. Most kids have a dream. They want to be a baseball player, a fireman. When you were a little kid, was that the goal you'd set for yourself? Someday be a famous baseball player?
I think it, maybe not so much baseball.
No.
But I think it happened before I was born.
Do you believe in that
I believe in it because I did it. You have a lot of kids prior to being born, 5, 6 months before they're born, just laying there and doing nothing. I started, just with sit-ups, doing just against the wall cavity, just pushing back and forth. When you
isometrics in the
build yourself up a little bit. My mother was not a big woman, but a decent size where I was able to run around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think when that time came, when you're ready to go, a normal kid might panic. What's happened? Boom, everything goes.
Yeah.
I was ready for it. And I think this is, a lot of kids don't remember that. A lot of kids, as I said before, just lay there. Well, when's this going to end? When's this going to end? But I worked out constantly while I was laying there.
You wanted to be ready.
Well, I knew what I wanted to do at that time.
Did you play Little League at all?
No, they didn't have
ball?
Little League at that time, Johnny. It was mostly American Legion baseball.
Little
Leagues came in later on as far as my playing career went, but...
How long did you actually play in the majors?
I played 6 years in the big leagues.
Now, what clubs were you with?
I was with Milwaukee, started with Milwaukee.
Right.
Then traded to St. Louis.
Now, why'd they trade you?
Well, because they had seen enough of me.
Well, that's an honest appraisal, but...
I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. The Cardinals were in dire need of a championship. So the Braves sent me to St. Louis, and in 1964, we won the World's Championship over there, and I think I was probably as big a contributor as anybody on that Cardinal club that year. The final 2 weeks of the season, they had me injected with hepatitis where I couldn't play.
Did you get any hits at all in that game?
No, Johnny, hits never bothered me. That was something I never worried about. I always, if I'd go up there and get hit with a pitch,
right?
I enjoyed that. Plus, I would get on base.
Right.
Those were things that used to fire me up. There were some managers that painted a helmet on my targets. Target on my helmet, I'm saying. You see stuff like that, you get a little nervous. But I never cared about the game. I always thought after the game was much more important than the game itself.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, go out and get bombed up, liquored up.
Okay, we'll be back here at the Sports Clinic in just a moment. And right after this word from one of our sponsors. We are back. Vic Damone will be out shortly. Stephanie Crane. We're talking with Mr. Baseball. Were you ever hurt badly enough? Football players get injured all the time, knees and so forth. Baseball players don't seem to be quite that prone to injuries.
Well, I've had injuries that maybe other people don't think they're serious. Hangnails.
Hardly.
I'll tell you something that really hurt me, Johnny. I had a very bad case of athlete's foot, which it was one of those deals you don't pay any attention to, And it kept getting worse and worse and worse. Finally turned into jock itch, and then, then acne. Just all up. It started here and then goes right up your body.
All up.
And, you run, your skin falls off. People don't like that.
Yeah,
But I don't want to, times I come on here, people say he's a braggart. He was great. He was a great player. I don't like to leave people with that idea.
Yeah.
I wasn't the greatest. There are things that you can do to compensate. Like I didn't run that well.
Yeah.
But there are things you can do, as I said, like when I was running on the bases, like I would knock my hat off, so it looked like I was really moving. I would, like on one shoe, I would wear my regular like a 9.5, and on the other I'd wear like a 14. So it looks like you're getting a bigger lead off the base. There are a lot of
tricks like that.
Oh, there are a lot of things you can do. It's.
When you left the ball club, did you leave of your own? Your final playing days, did you leave of your own choice?
Kind of semi. I had been asked first, but I made it look in the papers like I did it on my own.
Yeah. So they give you a graceful way to.
The big pension after you're out. Like right now, I'm doing like on the Major League Pension plan. I'm doing like $170 a month.
Doesn't exactly put you in a retirement village, does it?
There's a lot of guys. I just saw, what was it, yesterday? Jimmy Brown's coming back to play football at 47.
James Brown said, I think because he sees Eric Dickinson closing in on his
Well, he's talking about Franco Harris, Johnny. Franco Harris is coming up on...
I thought it was Dickinson this year.
Well,
all-time yardage.
All-time yardage, exactly. And now Jimmy Brown wants to come back and play 47 years old. I've been thinking of doing the same thing.
Come on.
I have to.
Oh, come on.
No, not here. We're working out a deal right now with the State Department. If they don't quit sending the amount of automobiles over to this country from Japan,
right,
then I'm going over there to destroy their baseball.
To get into Japanese baseball. And you're the one man that could do that. And the fine representative you would be for that.
Well, I would. There's something that stays inside of you, Johnny. You know what I mean?
I suppose so.
You know that. You've been through all this.
Who are you rooting for this year?
Well, I tell you what. I really rooted for the Orioles in the World Series this year. I really did, and I thought they were the better club. The Phillies got old all of a sudden. They were a big change in Philadelphia now. A lot of the players were older than the manager, and some of the players were asking for relay runners on the bases. But it's amazing how things change, Johnny. The losing share in the World Series this year was 45,000.
The losing
plus.
share?
That was a losing share. And our winner's share in 1964 was $8,000.
Good heavens.
So it's really a change. I'll never forget the '64 season when they give you the championship rings.
Yeah.
The following year. You walk out on the line and they present the rings to you, and they threw mine in the grass. It took about 3 innings to find it, but I got it. It was a great thrill. My family there, everybody. It was just super deal. Yeah, it was a super deal.
Now, what is the name? I read that you're in a motion picture. Is this for real?
Yes.
In a movie?
This is my first time in a movie. The name of the movie is O.C. and Stiggs, to be released in April. We did the shooting in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago. And I play a chair. And I've never, as I said before, this is my first time in a motion picture, and they said I did a great job. But I mean, how do you know? You don't. I had to really put on a lot of weight because I was a big chair. And no, but I'll tell you, my scene in the movie was a tongue-in-cheek rip at football. versus baseball.
Oh, I see.
How tough baseball is in comparison to football. But it was really a fun experience. Robert Altman is the producer-director of the movie, and
Good
Martin
credentials.
Mull, who's
yeah.
a wacko. He's beautiful.
Yes, he's strange.
Louis Nye.
Well, perhaps you can do for the motion picture industry what you did for baseball.
Well, this is really funny. As soon as we had completed my segment, some cab company out here had called me as far as my ride goes to the premiere.
Oh, you're going to the premiere?
Well, they furnished a cab for me.
A cab? No limo, no mention of the
No
limo.
limo, but a nice six battery flashlight instead of that big thing. You gotta lug that around with you. Spin that thing around. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You get a tuxedo and go to it and everything.
It's a rented, used.
Of course,
it's
of course.
like a black and a gray bottom, like a lot of dry cleaning on the
night
pants.
you won't know
No, you
anything.
can't see that at night.
It'll
It's
look
going to
dark
be beautiful.
Well, sounds like you have a whole new career in the offing here.
Well, it'll be a chance to come back out here and see you guys again.
Yeah,
Eddie
well,
and Freddie.
Maybe we have a film clip like we do with the big stars when they bring a film clip.
Well,
on.
I don't want to look like I'm begging.
Well,
I really don't.
Let's don't do it then, because you're probably right.
That's good enough for me.
Right. Okay. Okay, we'll take a break. Victor Moan is going to come out here, and you're going to hear somebody sing right.